What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 10 review. Want to let you guys know that I'm having some family issues right now, so keep my family in your prayers. But this week I won't be dropping any new videos on the Keisha Irvin channel. I'll resume next week. So thank you to everybody that is subscribed over there. If you have not, the link is down below in the description box. So new content will be over there next week. All right. Let's get into last night's episode. So Brooklyn meets her grandpa for the first time, Kenya's father. I still don't really understand why it took her so long to meet her grandfather. I know Kenya made a comment about she hadn't even really been around her own real father, let alone her grandfather. So I don't know if some things was going on between Kenya and her father, if that was the reason why. But regardless, he seemed to be very elated to see her, and Brooklyn was just a cheesing and a smiling. One thing you can say about that baby is that she is well taken care of, loved, and happy. Happy. That is a happy child, and you can tell that that is because of Kenya's parenting. So Ralph decides to have brunch at the house, and him and the guys will cook for the ladies before they head to Portugal for the cash trip. So everybody get there with their, significant others who do have some. And Candy didn't even recognize Bryce, Courtney's baby daddy, who was in the group Groove Theory. Like, he don't look bad. He just look a little rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that boyish good looks of his ain't boyish no more. It's like, I done been through some stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, you can tell he don't even really feel comfortable in his own skin because everybody keep on saying he don't look the way he used to. Like, so I don't know what that's about. But Sheree gonna make a comment about Kenya, and she ain't seen her man, and ain't nobody seen Kenya man, and this is that and the third. Meanwhile, Martell ain't there with her. So how you talking about anybody's situation when your own man ain't sitting beside you? So be quiet. And let's talk about Sheree new nose. I'm just gobsmacked. I don't know why she did that to herself. She literally looks like Michael Jackson from The Wiz with that new nose. It's like she had like almost like a dragon-like nose at first, but it fit her face. She didn't need it, like her nose fit her face. So when she got her nose job, they went in and took down the nostrils. And so now she has this bulbous tip that just looks weird, and it makes her face look puffy and swole. I hope it look better by the time we get to the reunion, because you gotta be real careful when you get your face up. Like, she up here looking like Nene by the nose now. Her nose is looking like Nene's second nose, because we all know Nene had like 3 or 4 rhinoplasties done, child. But no, they don't look right. So Marlo brings Scott Lee, and Kenya was like, what does he have on? Like, because he had on like this paisley, like velvet jacket. It was country. It was a mess. So while they're sitting eating brunch, Roy ends up calling Kenya, and she's all giddy and everything. And Marlo was like, Roy, oh my God, I went on a date with him. Kenya ignored her and went and talked to her little boo thing, because he was calling her to let her know that he was like going to Miami or somewhere, and that he would call her when he got there. And so Kenya didn't even give her no FaceTime with that. You know what I'm saying? She did make a little comment at the table about, him choosing the right one, meaning her. I don't think that it was a big deal that Marlo said, oh, Roy, I went on a date with him. I don't think that's a big deal. And hopefully it doesn't become a big deal, because it's really silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all went on a date. It didn't work out. You said you didn't like him. You said he was corny. So there's really nothing to even talk about at this point. So Sheree asks Drew, is the chef gonna get paid? Because there's some stuff online about Drew not paying another chef that worked for them. So Drew explains that it was this young girl that wanted to cook for them, but come to find out the girl wasn't even a chef for real. She had her in the food, and the girl suing her for $1,000. But Sheree still, even after she told Sheree the story, Sheree was like, but you gonna pay him, right? And I'm like, Sheree, you the last person that can talk about anybody not paying nobody. You are notorious for not paying people. You are the cheapest broad on the show. Like, stop it. Stop. Like, girl, that ain't your ministry. So Kenya and Courtney get to going back and forth over some dumb stuff, and Kenya tells Courtney not to touch her because she kept on like doing her like that. Like, don't be touching on folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if we don't rock with each other like that. Don't be touching all up on me. I don't know you like that. I don't even know if you wash your hands. Absolutely not. And then Courtney is just annoying. Her voice is annoying. Like, no, ain't nobody seeing it for her. So the ladies go to Portugal, and it's rough for Candy. Candy got the bubble guts. She thinks that she's been food poisoned the whole flight. She's throwing up and boo-booing at the same time. I've only had that happen to me one time, and that was when I was pregnant with Kyrese, and I ate some chocolate turtles. And I was like maybe 6 or 7 months pregnant at that time, but that did not agree with me. I have never projectile vomited and on the toilet at the same time. That is craziness. So just to imagine you being on a flight and that's happening to you, like, oh my God, I would be so embarrassed. I have only used the bathroom on a flight one time because I don't like using public restrooms. I will hold it until I get home because so just imagine you having bubble guts and you vomit. Girl, I feel bad for her child. So by the time they get there, though, she seems to be feeling a little bit better. So, all the ladies go to their rooms. The hotel was really, really nice. Really, really nice. They all gather to like have lunch or breakfast or whatever. And Drew lets everybody know that Ralph is in Vegas trying out for the Chocolate City strip show. It's the all-black cast of strippers who get completely naked. So Ralph wanted to be the famous one this whole time. It's obvious. It's obvious. And I don't know who told Ralph he was that dude, but no. Like, his head is literally shaped like an acorn. He has the most oddly shaped head I've ever seen. And his hairline, I would pay him to put his clothes back on. Like, no. And all the girls are sitting there like, Ralph? Vegas? Stripper? Huh? Like, girl, none of it makes sense. And Drew like, yeah. What? Like, all right. So, after they eat, Drew is on the balcony talking to Monyetta, and Monyetta points out that Africa is like that way across the ocean. And Drew says, I've never been to Africa. I've been to South Africa, but not Africa. And Monyetta slow because even she didn't clock that and was like, girl, that is Africa. Like, what? Like, Drew, just be pretty. Just be pretty. So everybody's acknowledging how everybody's trying to at least get along on this vacation. But Drew brings up to, I think it was Monyetta, how Sheree been throwing shade at her over the whole chef situation or whatever. And so then we see Candy and Kenya on the balcony talking about Roy and how much she likes him. And Candy brings up the Marlo situation. And Kenya was like, girl, I ain't thinking about Marlo. And so Kenya says in her confessional, Roy is fine, young, handsome, and eligible. He does not have to pay for meow So it was not a date. Child, I was like, ooh, that was a good read. That was a real good one. So then we see Sonya and Marlo at Marlo's room talking, and Sonya say, I'm trying to figure out what's the difference about about Martell being in Sheree's DMs, but when Martell was in hers, I'm sorry, wrong. She said, I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between him being in Sheree's. Girl, I'm saying that all the way wrong. I don't know why I got Sheree name right here. She said, I'm trying to figure out what's the difference about Roy being in your DM, but when Martell was in Sheree's, it was a whole situation. And I see the correlation there. I see the correlation because it could come across like with Martell, like, is he trying to talk to women on the show? You know what I'm saying? Is he trying to get in where he can fit in? But I feel like the only difference with that situation is that it never even went anywhere between Kenya and Martell. Like, nothing was even entertained on Kenya's end, whereas Marlo and Roy actually went on a date and they never saw each other again. So I feel like if he was really trying to be on the show, you know what I'm saying? If he was trying to look for clout, he would have tried to make sure he continued to see her. But once again, I acknowledge where Sonya is coming from because it could still very well much be that. You know what I'm saying? It could be a clout chasing thing. Although I don't really believe that because Kenya has even made it clear that it's hard for them to even link up. So I see where Sonya is coming from, but Sonya, sit down. Please, sit down. I hope she do not come back next season because she is a waste of space. Oh my God. So Sheree says, once they all go to dinner that night, by the way, loved Marlo's outfit. I need that in my life immediately. So they all go to dinner and Drew confronts Sheree about talking about her lawsuit behind her back. And Sheree was like, well, you lied on me at the reunion and on the radio station about the She by Sheree stuff, child. And Drew was like, girl, we already talked about that. We talking about what's going on right now. So, they going back and forth. And Drew was like, how you doing a trip about healing? You can't heal your damn self. Baby, Sheree didn't know what to do with herself. Her mouth was like, oh, what? Yeah, she got you with that one because this whole trip is a trip, really. So they arguing. And Drew gets upset all of a sudden and starts to cry and gets up from the table and leave. And Marlo was like, Sheree, you know, you really hurt her. She crying. Go check on her. You the host. This, that, and the third. Kenya had already got up to go follow her. And I'm like, what you crying for? But I think that she was crying because it had something to do with her marriage. Like, it had to be something deeper than a $1,000 lawsuit. Like, that would make you cry. Like, I think that it was more to that. Overall, I'm going to give the episode a C+. It was cute. I just feel like the show needs to be revamped, especially after seeing Real Housewives of New York. But I've been saying this for the last 3-4 seasons. Don't nobody want to listen to me. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all thought about the episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.